Ladies and gentlemen, I've been through the bot ringer, spending countless hours making star power glitch episodes, spending too much time with the bots that I would say I know them inside and out. We all saw this video coming. It is the ultimate bot power ranking tier list. Let's get into it. So I'm sure you all know this by now, but your boy Ray is not a huge fan of the bots here inside of Brawl Stars. I think I've made that plainly obvious with all of our star power glitch episodes, as well as a few dedicated videos expressing my disdain for the bots in friendly battles in this game. I think I can say this pretty confidently that there's not that many players playing this game who has spent more time than me with the stinking bots here inside of Brawl Stars. So I'm very confident with my abilities in structuring this tier list today, the overall power ranking, which bots are the strongest as well as which are the weakest in this game. Let's get into this sucker. So we have the tier list all set and ready to go. We have all 33 brawlers loaded in that we have in Brawl Stars, awaiting our judgment, awaiting to be placed on this tier list. Very official tier list of the overall power ranking of bots here in Brawl Stars. Guys, I gotta warn you straight up, there may be some PTSD going on in today's video. I'm gonna have to be reliving a lot of past experiences with these bots. So come along with me on the overall power ranking of the bots. So what we're gonna be doing is starting with the lowest rarity in the game, starting with the starter brawler. Guys, I finally got it right in today's video. I always call Shelly a trophy row brawler, and the comments never fail to correct what I say. So as for a quick breakdown of the tiers that we have in today's video, we have S all the way through F. S being crazy good bots, bots that scare me, bots that don't allow me to sleep soundly at night and give me nightmares, profuse nightmares. And then F is complete bots, bots that don't matter, bots that don't have any power, and we hate them all nonetheless. So starting off with the lowest rarity brawler that we have in the game, the starter brawler, and that is Shelly. Also, we're keeping the explanations very brief in today's video because we have 33 to get through. And again, I have to keep my mental in check. PTSD is a thing. So we're going to be ranking Shelly on the C tier, right in the middle of the pack. There's one thing I've noticed about the bots, whether they're good or whether they're bad. The long range bots seem to be pretty good compared to the shorter range. So your Bulls, El Primos, things like that. They're really easy to go up against because you just have to keep your distance. And Shelly has that kind of somewhat medium range, but she still does a lot of damage if you get a little bit too close, so she can be very dangerous. As well, as you all know, bots auto aim is very scary, faster than any human's auto aim. So when she's right on top of you, you going down real quick. Next is Nita. We're going to be placing her on the B tier. Now, I just got done explaining that shorter range characters aren't that hard to go up against, but I feel like Nita is a little bit of an exception. The crazy fast auto aim that you get with Nita, as well as clipping her max distance, she does that staple damage to you at all times, just bursting you down, as well as the bear really comes into play. She's definitely better than Shelly, and if we're putting Shelly in the C tier, Nita's got to be a little bit above her. Next, moving on to Colt. Guys, Colt is an S tier. Colt is freaking scary. The auto aim, the super, the non-regard to your life, just absolutely spamming the auto aim. You're trying to juke, but the auto aim for some reason just clips you anyways, and then the super comes flying in. It's really devastating, guys. Colt is definitely an S tier and a brawler that gives me nightmares for sure. Next is Bull. I'm gonna have to put Bull on the D tier. I think we're not quite there as like a really bad bot. Bull does have a little bit of range, and when he gets inside or close enough to you, he starts hamming you down and gets you down really quick. So scary brawler, but not that scary. He's kind of easy to go up against. Moving along to Jessie, I have to put her on the A tier. Not quite a brawler that gives me nightmares when I sleep at night, but still insanely good. One thing about bots is that yes, you're going up against them, but in 3v3s you also have two bots on your team. No regard to standing really close to you. Jessie spams one of those bots, they stand still, they come ricocheting at you, and again with that crazy fast auto aim, those energy orbs start dealing off a lot of damage, and she has decent range, so she's hard to go up against. Jessie, crazy good. Moving along to Brock, another S tier brawler. Brock, scarier than Colt. I feel like Brock bots never miss. It's weird. You try to juke, but you're used to juking real brawlers in the game or real players, but those rockets just come flying in one after the other. And man, if you're close enough to Brock, he will kill you in a second, spamming that auto aim. It is scary. Brock is very scary. Moving along to Dynamite, I'm putting Dynamite in the D tier. Now, there's been times Dynamite has destroyed me very fast, spamming out the auto aims, the Dynamite sticks coming in. They're all in one spot, but they're fast and they clip you very easily. easily. And then if you're not careful, that super will come flying in as well with a little bit longer range, and it will clip you and kill you very easily. The only reason he's not a little bit higher up on the list is because all you have to do is walk in a straight line if one targets you. But man, if you're in showdown, there's other bots going for you. That dynamite can really get you good. He can really get you good, but still easy enough to get around. Moving along to Bo, putting Bo on the A tier. This is one of the harder picks that I had to put here. I really wanted Bo to be S tier because, again, the auto aim and the consistent chip damage that he applies and the long range, it can be pretty dang devastating. But still, I feel like I'm going on feel alone and my emotions towards these bots. I don't feel he's quite as scary as a Colt or a Brock, but he's very, very close. Definitely A tier, definitely very scary bot in this game, and I hate him a lot, much like all the other bots in the game. Moving over to another lobber on our list, and that is Tick. I'm putting Tick on the C tier only because he has that chip damage that Dynamite doesn't necessarily have. If I had to put Tick in the same tier as Dynamite, I feel like I would be lying to myself because, again, the crazy auto aim, they spam him out. He has those choke points. Even if he is a bot, he still does his mechanics quite well as a bot. So Tick definitely coming in at a C tier. Moving along to 8-Bit, we're placing him on the B tier. Guys, 8-Bit is a scary brawler in general if you're within his sights. That auto aim comes in, that damage starts rolling. If you're not dodging horizontally, you're going to get destroyed, blasted into thin air. And again, it kind of rolls back to the solo game mode-esque. I remember back when Lone Star was in the game and Showdown, I did a lot of games in those game modes, and 8-Bit would just come in a blinding flurry when you are going up against someone else, and 8-Bit will just come out and start blasting you while you're dealing with auto aims coming from Brock and 8-Bit. It is scary, very scary. So 8-Bit going in on the B tier. Next, moving along to the final trophy row brawler, and that is Ems. Ems goes on the A tier. Not an S tier brawler, but she's still very devastating, so we have to place her in the A tier. Guys, I'm sure you all noticed this by now if you play in friendly battles. Bots, when they get to like half health, once you dish off a good amount of damage to them, they run with their stinking tail between their legs and run away to safety in some bushes or something like that. But one thing I've noticed about Ems is once you get below half health, she doesn't stop, man. She will keep barreling at you, spamming out that auto aim, and if you're within that distance, she will not let you go. She will kill you very easily. And again, coming back to those solo game modes, she is hard to go up against when you're busy with another one. She'll just come in, swoop in, and get you real quick. The DPS on her is insane. So guys, moving along to the rare brawlers, we're moving into El Primo, and I'm putting him on the F tier. This bot I hate. He's not that good to go up against, but he is just all around incredibly annoying. All the bots with a lot of health are insanely hard to kill because once they get below that half health, they still have a good amount of health, but they start running away like I mentioned with Ems. So Primo, he'll come barreling at you, start punching away. You keep your distance, you dish off this good damage, but then just walks away. Heals up, comes right back. It's the worst thing in the world. I'm not putting him any higher than F. I hate him. He stinks. One of my least favorite bots in the game. So moving on to Barley. I'm going to be putting Barley on the B tier. I feel like he's better than Dynamite, better than Tick, so one above them I feel like is important. Barley has that spammy auto aim, much like all the other bots in the game, and he has a very good width of damage, so he can clip you very easily. And he's not as bad as Tick or Dynamite because you can somewhat dodge their shots when you're trying to go in on them, but once you get close to Barley, those auto aim shots will hit you no matter what, and that DPS will come rolling in. So moving along to our next rare, I'm going to be putting Poco on the D tier. Much like our reasoning for El Primo, it's kind of annoying to go up against Poco because he stays alive really easily with his super. When you're trying to close that gap, he just keeps hamming out those auto aims and then just supers himself to heal himself back up. He's basically a glorified tank with some range, so it's annoying to play against. He doesn't necessarily kill you a whole lot, but again, once you get below that half health, their like killer instincts turn on within their stupid brains and start going for you. So Poco's one of those brawlers. Not hard to go up against, just really annoying to play against. Next is Rosa. I'm also putting Rosa on the D tier. Much like El Primo, she has all those types of things that El Primo has. However, Rosa has the super shield as well as just a tiny bit more range than El Primo. So a little bit harder to deal with, a little bit better than El Primo. El Primo, the only F tier here so far. So next is Penny. And I gotta say, Penny is actually pretty dang scary. Putting her on the B tier. Like I said before, in 3v3s, you have bots on your team as well, and for some reason, they always stay huddled around you. You go up the right lane, they follow you up the right lane to the objective. So if they group up, or if a bot gets in front of you, if they're a little bit faster, you are going to get blitzed by the coin bags. It is scary. I would say not as scary as Jesse, but still pretty dang scary. The spammy auto aim, like all the other bots, is insane on Penny. So moving on to Carl, I'm going to be putting him on the C tier. Now this one was also difficult for me because I wanted to put him on the B tier because he has that range, but it's pretty dang easy to dodge Carl. You can get out of that way because he doesn't have any star powers activated, so the pickaxe is moving in pretty slow and it's always in that one spot. So if you're moving horizontally, it's not going to hit you whatsoever. But man, once he gets that super, starts rolling in on you, he can be a scary brawler, as well as he has pretty decent health. So he does the same things as El Primo and Rosa. It stinks. So moving on to our next super rare, and that is Daryl. I'm putting Daryl on the A tier. There's a big difference in tanks when it comes to Rosa and Primo because Daryl has a tiny bit more range than them, as well as his super is self-generating, so he will roll in on you so freaking fast, even if it doesn't hit you because you are in the spot where the auto aim goes. You might be away from that spot where he's supering in on, but he's still right up close to you, and he won't leave you alone unless you get him to like below half health, so that tankiness does come into play. Next, moving along to Rico, and I'm putting him on the A tier. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, why isn't he on the S tier? Because he has really similar mechanics to Colt, and I really don't have an answer for you. For some reason, I'm just more afraid of Colt's than Rico's. I think Colt has like a faster bullet speed, so it's a little bit harder to dodge his shots when you're strafing horizontally. Rico's shots come in a bit slower, but still he can be a devastating brawler. Definite A tier, not quite S though. Next is B. I'm putting her on the B tier. Fitting, no pun intended whatsoever. Guys, B is actually really scary. She does have a little bit lower health, so you can scare her off really easily, but she does also have that long range, as well as that supercharged shot that can kill you super fast. The only reason she's not super high is because she doesn't have that spammy auto aim like a lot of the other brawlers do. Moving on to BB, and I'm placing her on the F tier. Primo now has a little bit of company. BB is so dang easy to play up against. She does have a little bit faster movement speed than normal brawlers, but she has no range whatsoever. So easy to keep your distance. You just hit her a few times, she runs away, does the same thing El Primo does, comes right back. The only thing is she has less health than El Primo, so she runs away a lot more often. It stinks. I hate her. One of my least favorite bots as well in the game. Moving along to Frank Daddy, guys. Frank is most definitely an S tier brawler. There is nothing more scary than a Frank bot in this game. I would say he is the scariest of them all. I hate Frank. He scares the crap out of me, definitely gives me nightmares, much like Colt and Brock, but I feel like I dream just a little bit more about Frank, a little bit more afraid of Frank. Guys, there's been so many times where I'm making my star power tier list videos, I'll die to a Frank. Yes, that happens a lot, but there's a lot of times where I'll see one on a part of the map and I just go the other way. I don't even want to mess with him. I don't even want to deal with his tomfoolery. He'll end up killing me somehow, some way. It happens. I don't know why, but Frank is an insane bot in this game. So next is Pam. I'm putting her on the A tier. Fundamentally, she should be a really good bot in this game. Like her mechanics, her annoying chip damage, her long range chip damage, her health. She's got that healing station, but for some reason, she doesn't hit as hard as Colt, Brock, or Frank. She doesn't scare me as much as them, but definitely a really good bot in this game. So moving along to Piper, I'm also putting Piper on the A tier. She has kind of the same things that scare you as Brock, but for some reason she's a little bit easier to dodge. Even though the bullets come in a little bit faster than Brock, I find I have an easier time going up against her than Brock, as well as Brock has that super that comes in like a blinding flurry. He just spams that auto aim, it comes out, and you have nothing you can do. So Piper, not quite S tier, but still really scary. So moving along to Gene, I'm putting Gene on the B tier. He has that long range annoying chip damage, but again, he's not super hard to get inside and kill. He doesn't have that really bursty damage at long range, so you can just make your way in, take him out, not super scary to deal with. Next is Tara. I'm going to be placing Tara on the C tier. A lot of the time when you play up against Tara, you'll deal that damage. That crazy auto aim burst damage is coming out. She'll just chip you down, keep her distance from the damage that you're placing on her. She runs away, comes back until she has her super, and then supers you and kills you. It's happened before, but still not like a B or A or S tier. I would say she's not as strong as she might let on. Moving on to the creature of the night himself, my main man, Mortis. I'm putting him on the F tier. Guys, it hurts whenever I have to place Mortis on a tier list ranking, no matter what it is this low on the list. It just hurts my morale, guys. Mortis doesn't deserve this. He is already bad in the meta. I'm sorry, Mr. Bot Mortis. You're the only bot that I feel sympathy towards. But Mortis really easy to go up against. He has to get really close to deal damage to you. I feel like I've never really had a problem with Mortis ever. He's going on the F tier for sure. Just because she's annoying, she's not that dangerous or anything like that. Even though she did get a buff, I feel like before she probably would have been like F or D tier, but now she actually does some pretty good damage, so she just spams off shots, gets inside, and is annoying as heck. So moving on to Mr. P. Since Mr. P was in the game and I was playing with him a lot, I would have put him on the S tier, but now with that range reduction, I'm putting him on the A tier. Not quite as scary as before. Guys, we're moving along to the legendary brawlers, the legendary 4. First is Leon. I'm putting Leon on the B tier. He does have that insane damage output, but he doesn't have the intuition like most real players do in this game to actually try to get in close. A lot of the time, he'll just stay at max range and just do that annoying chip damage. So he's not that big of a threat unless he does find a way to get inside if you don't damage him enough to make him run away. So Leon coming in at the B tier. Next is Crow, and believe it or not, I'm putting Crow on the C tier. He does do that annoying chip damage, but he's one of those bots that just really never bothered me that much. He keeps his distance. He has really low health. You only have to hit him once with a lot of brawlers to make him run away. His poison chip damage doesn't do enough to you where he's going to start pursuing you because you're really low in health and stuff like that. Just kind of average towards the middle of the pack. Moving along to Spike, I'm putting him on the A tier. Definitely a good bot in this game with the spammy auto aim. He almost always will get that chip damage on you because he doesn't have a star power. The ricochet shots are really hard to get away from, but I really haven't had as much problems as opposed to the S tier brawlers that I have with Spike. Definitely a formidable bot in this game, can kill you very easily if you don't watch yourself against him, but again, he does have a little bit lower health. You can scare him off quite easily. Not as scary as Frank, Colt, or Brock. So moving along to Sandy, and I'm going to be placing Sandy on the B tier. I find that the movement speed from Sandy as well as the damage output can be pretty dang scary to go up against, but again, for some reason, my intuition, my feeling towards these bots, I never really have been scared of a Sandy whatsoever. Nothing like the S tier. But guys, that is all 33 brawlers on our list. This is the bot tier list, the official bot tier list. Doesn't get any accurate as this, but yeah, guys, you all know how much I hate the bots here inside the game, and it's fun to put them on a tier to see who are the strongest, who are the brawlers you want to stay away from, especially if you're like 500 trophies and above. A lot of the time, Frank, Colt, and Brock, you just want to walk the opposite way. Don't even mess with them because they'll kill you very easily. I hate them all the same. I hate all the bots in the game. They all stink. I'm sick of them. But bots will be bots. But yeah, guys, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. Also, let me know if you agree with my list. Would you change anything on your bot tier list if you were to make one? I don't know if I would necessarily agree with you. The bots that are on this list scare me in these particular ways. But I would love to hear what you guys are saying about this. Had fun with this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. With that being said, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.